Once Human just wrapped up their version 1.3 dev stream where they broke down everything in regards to the upcoming Way of Winter scenario. I gotta tell you, I am incredibly hyped up for this scenario, especially after watching this stream. I'm gonna break it all down right here as quickly as possible, starting off with the fact that your hive size or your group size will now be expanded, meaning you're gonna be able to allow more people into your hive. You'll kind of see as I break all of this down, it really seems like they are trying to push the group gameplay with this scenario. But let's go ahead and move on to the temperature mechanism, which is coming into this season. And we're not dealing with just freezing temperatures here, we're also dealing with burning hot volcanic areas. The way you're going to be able to survive this is with a new mimetic system. They say that you're going to start off with a torch, which is obviously going to battle the cold, and then as you progress through the system, you'll be able to craft more items for temperature control. Speaking of temperature control, they're also bringing this into your territories with something called thermal towers. They say that these won't be unlocked until about midway through the scenario, and the timeline for this scenario is very similar to the first PvE scenario. So I think it'll be a couple weeks before people start to unlock these, but these thermal towers are going to be something that you and your hive build up in order to maintain your territory temperature. It also does a bunch of other things. I'll get to that in a little bit, but sticking on the topic of temperature control, there's also going to be some new cooking recipes that are going to provide you some temporary relief from the weather. Let's go ahead and move on into the thermal towers with a new feature that they're calling Spectacle Collaboration. So after you unlock the thermal tower, you will be able to collab with your hive in order to build it up. This right here is essentially just a giant heater for your territory. This is going to do many things. It's going to regulate the temperature in an area, but it's also going to allow you to do things like turn your area into an oil field or boost crops or many other territory buffs. They also show off that this thing is going to be upgradable and it is going to run on a new gatherable resource. And I just got to point out, I love Once Human's art style. I am so excited for this season, this scenario. But being able to collaborate on this thermal tower with your hive is another way that they are pushing for team collaboration in this season, especially considering at the very end of the season, they say that Chaos Weavers are going to come down and attack these thermal towers. Chaos Weavers being massive, giant bosses. You can see some clips of these in the background, which kind of also demonstrate the art style and enemy design style that Once Human goes with that is just so unique and it is so fun to play. If you haven't given Once Human a shot, I highly suggest jumping into the Way of Winter scenario. Let's go ahead and keep it rolling here and talk about the new securement silo. This takes place in like an art museum style thing. I think they said there's 2 new securement silos. I could be mistaken there, don't hold me to that, but there is at least this one. Speaking of new, we've got new weapons coming into the game, obviously. They are there. They gave us an example, something called the Silent Anabasis, which basically is an ice vortex AoE, but all that's subject to change. So let's go ahead and move on to new deviations. We're getting 7 of them actually, and these are exciting. When they showcased this is when I really started to get excited for this upcoming scenario. We've got Snow Sprite, Invincible Sun, Hydronaut Fish, Zapcam, Ice Pot, Tar Pudding, and Gazokyo. I'm gonna make a separate video where I break down what each and every single one of these deviations do here, deviants, whatever you want to call them. But overall, this scenario really looks like it's gonna shape up to be something that at least is going to match the experience of the original Once Human scenario, which is actually really exciting. I'm more hyped than I thought I would be to jump into this second PvE scenario. They did also drop a frequently asked questions portion in this live stream at the very beginning. I'm going to break that down in a separate video, so keep your eye out on the channel for that. But that's all I wanted to break down inside of this one. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'm out.